The 2021 holiday season is here, and it gives us an opportunity to not only get together with family and friends, but to buy Black. Yes, throughout this period, we all have an opportunity to support Black owned businesses. Today, I'm talking to three African American business owners about their struggles and their successes. And I'm giving you an opportunity to support them during the holiday and throughout the years to come. All coming up next.
Live from Los Angeles, this is the Special Report with Areva Martin.
My first guest is a Detroit entrepreneur who is the first Black woman to franchise a national hair salon. Welcome to the show, CEO and founder of Pearly Boy, Dana White.
Hi, Areva. Hi, you guys. Thanks for having me. Hi.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Dana. And first of all, I just want to say congratulations. I've read
Thank
about
you.
your salon and Black Enterprise, I think in Forbes and so many other national publications. So the word is definitely getting out, and you're getting just tremendous praise from all segments of our society. So I just want to say congratulations to that.
Thank you.
So now I want to dive into Pearly Boy. What was the impetus behind you, because you're not a hairstylist or by training, but what was the impetus behind you starting a hair salon or hair chain, a chain of salons?
I know. When it came time for us to solve the problem, what happened was, I, like many other professional women, were tired of showing up at their appointment and not being seen for another hour, or being at your appointment and being there all day. I no longer had the time to sit in the salon all day. Growing up, I think a lot of us remember, that's where we spend our Saturdays. And as I said before, it was our country club. But again, as a young professional woman living in New York City, I had no time. I needed to get in and get out. And then I noticed that there were salons in New York that were similar to that model, but weren't really deliberate about some of their processes and operations. So in 2011, I left my career, and the answer is, if you can't find the answer, create one. And Pearly Boy was born.
So what's the give us the backstory of the name Pearly Boy, because it's such a unique name.
It's uniquely from Kentucky. That is my grandmother's name. That was my grandmother's name. She passed away in 1989, and I wanted a name that connected us to our roots. I wanted a name that was synonymous with, in my opinion, how people would feel when they left in her home. They always walked in feeling one way and left feeling another way. She was integral in her community, just being that matriarch to everyone that you could come and talk to, and she'd feed you, listen to you, and send you on your way, and you felt better. Now, we're not feeding our guests, but we do want to have that feeling of them feeling better when they leave our salon.
And I think I read where your family were domestics in Kentucky, and that worked for slave owners that owned, when that was allowed, which is a word, right? But they actually,
I know,
family worked for them, provided unpaid labor,
exactly,
to this family. That's an amazing history. How did you trace all that history?
So I actually didn't. When I decided to name the salon after Pearly Boyd, my grandmother, she and I were very close, and so I had heard the stories about how the Gilberts had owned us, and that we could trace our family back to 1821, all the way back to Mary Beth. And so I've heard these stories. I actually believe I have the family Bible by which we were freed with. And so we were in Camp Branch, Kentucky, which is now, I think, Taylorsville. We have an old family cemetery, a little plot there, where, that was the Black cemetery. And the last person to work for the Gilberts was my great-grandmother, Mama Boyd. And unfortunately enough, her retirement present was the mistress's old bedroom set. So Pearly met a man, and he had this job at a company called GM up in a town called Detroit. And they moved up to Detroit and lived in Highland Park, Michigan, and the rest was history.
Wow. Okay. So is that how you ended up leaving New York, going back to Detroit, because that's where your family roots are?
No, so well, my roots are there, but I was born in Detroit, but raised in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay.
And then I graduated college and moved to Detroit to find a job and couldn't. It was like the worst time to find a job. The economy was awful. But I found one in New York City, and was making brunch appointments with my girlfriends, and they said, "Let's meet for brunch on Saturday at 1 o'clock." And I said, "No, no, no, I can't. I got a hair appointment." And they were like, "Okay." Well, the reason why the look on their face was shocked was because in New York, you can walk into a place and you're not there all day. So when I walked out, I remember standing on the hair curve. I was on the curb touching my hair like, I can't believe we got in and out in that amount of time. And I noticed that it was repetitive. But when I would come home and visit family, I'd have to make appointment weeks in advance. I worked in the Middle East. I'd have to get my hair appointment before I got my flight. It was just too inconvenient. So I decided to throw caution to the wind, jump without wings, and see if I could solve the problem.
Now, how scary was that for you? Since from what I've read, you didn't come from a family of business owners or entrepreneurs. Right. So here you are, the first in the family to make that leap. Was that scary? And how much support did you get from the family? Were they saying, "Hey, go for it, Dana," or were they saying, "Girl, you better keep that job"?
It was terrifying. I mean, I'm being polite. Like, it was so scary. My mom has been integral in keeping her hand in the small of my bag. She says almost every day, "God's got you, keep going." And I give her every reason to doubt. I'm like, "Well, Mom, nobody's done it before." And she said, "That's because it was for you to do." "Well, Mom, nobody's going to like it." "Well, nobody's going to get used to it. They got used to the car." Keep going. I mean, she just every day, she just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And when she doesn't let me doubt for too long, she listens, and then she requires that I get back to work.
Were you aware, Dana, of the statistics? Like I cited at the beginning of the show about, the fact that Black businesses, most of them fail in the first 18 months. Did you know those horrific statistics about the failure rate of Black businesses?
Not when I opened. And so, quick story. So we opened my first location in Southfield, Michigan, and a city official gets up and says these statistics, like as I'm opening. Most business fails within 12 to 18 months of opening. And I was frozen because I was like, I had a vision, not necessarily to franchise, but I had a vision of putting a Pearly Boy to solve the problem wherever the problem was, if I wanted there. I answer the call of the women that look like me.
Right.
And so when I heard that, I said, "Oh, I've got a lot of work to do." And yeah, the first several years, I've been open 9. And that feeling of, every decision I'm going to make is going to be the one that closes my doors, that went away about 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow. That's right. How many locations do you have now?
So I had 2, but due to COVID, we consolidated and went to 1 and started the franchise process, as well as being invited by the military to put our salons on bases around the globe. So excited about that. Just back from Germany and visited several bases over there, and I'm looking at 3 that are promising, plus about 5 here. Yeah.
Okay, so those are going to be owned by you or owned by franchisees?
Yep, they've asked that those be company-owned stores and that the franchise opportunity be separate.
Okay, so what you envision is like a McDonald's model where you will own a certain number of stores or a certain number of salons, and then franchisees can buy and have stores in certain neighborhoods. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. Franchisees can have it.
When we walk into a Pearly Boy, when one opens in Los Angeles, which I can't wait, what is that experience going to be like for me, and how is it going to be different from walking into any other hair salon?
Well, first thing you'll notice is the style and decor. You'll see beauty and, you'll be like, "Oh my God, this place is so beautiful," but it's meant to disguise the zones of a lean manufactured process. So we can get you in and out in a certain amount of time. The other thing you'll notice is that although you're moving quickly, you're not being rushed or shuttled through. And then we don't have clocks on purpose. We limit the amount of windows we have up front on purpose. We've been very deliberate about the Pantone and the decor. You're immediately, we try to get you to immediately come down. I know we carry a lot on us. And I want us to leave as much of that at the door as possible. So you'll notice from the textures, from the Pantone, the colors on the wall, everything is designed to run efficiently and to make you comfortable. And you'll always notice Pearly's picture will be right there as soon as you walk in the door. And if the design allows it, you'll notice that all of our walls are covered in gallery style with, it's curated with pictures of our customers. So we're reminded of who we're here for and why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing.
So I got to ask you this, Dana, you're doing black hair.
Yes, ma'am.
Involved. Are we talking about full service? Are we doing braids and weaves and cuts? What are we doing in Pearly Boy?
No, we don't cut our color. We don't put in or take out weave on purpose. I have found in my years of experience, even prior to opening Pearly Boy, that a lot of women go into protective styles so they don't have to do their hair because they don't want to sit in the salon all day. But I think when you give them the option of being able to wear their weave, but only for a certain amount of time, because they can just walk in to a Pearly Boy in LA and get their natural hair done and wear their natural hair for a time. I found that some of the protective styles and the way we do our hair is in response to the traditional hair salon. And so when you remove that and make it more efficient, you just present another option. So we don't cut, color, put in, or take out weave. We get a lot of women ready to go into braids. We get a lot of women ready to go into weave. We do a lot of scalp treatments, steam treatments, hair masks, everything about strengthening the strand density of your hair so that when you're 80, outside of genetics, you've got a nice thick head full of hair. We do a lot of things to make sure that your hair stays healthy for as long as it can.
So is this kind of like the dry bar for Black women in that you're doing, blow dries and you're doing, are you pressing?
No, we don't use a pressing comb. We have a blow dry technique. We can get your hair straight without a blow dryer. And that's the thing. Products and tools have evolved.
Okay.
Right? A lot of products and tools have evolved. And so the only thing that hadn't quite evolved with those products and tools are the hair care model. So we found that depending on how you blow dry the hair, and that's why we offer extensive training at our salon, because we don't believe in silk pressing. We don't believe in taking pressing the hair, then pressing it again. Again, all of that.
And no perms, I take it, right? No perms?
So we do, but we do it responsibly and we do it with a consultation and we'll likely talk you out of it. We do have a system called Unite that we use in the salon that would last in your hair for about 6 to 8 washes. But just all about not only how your hair looks on the outside, but how your health is maintained on the inside as well. And I found that sometimes relaxers can be hazardous. Depending on the relaxer, can be hazardous to us on the inside. So I can't decorate my salon with us and be hurting us just for the sake of beauty.
So give me an rough estimate of in and out time. I'm in at 1. What time am I out?
Our metrics has us the other day. Our metrics has us out at about, if you're in at 1, you're about 2:15, 2:30. When we were fully staffed, the whole world is experiencing staff shortages, and this business is no different. So we are pushing close to that 2.5 hour mark for service.
Next question is, what's next for Pearly Boy? We know you're going to military bases, you're franchising. How about products? Is that in the cards for you?
Products are already on the website. Products our customers want to come to us to do their hair, but they want our products to help them maintain it and thicken and grow it. So we have about 5 products on our website now that we've been using. Not only we use them in the salon, but we sell them. We'll also be selling those on military bases. But there's enough on the plate for Pearly Boy between franchising and expanding to military bases like Fort Bragg, Fort Hood, and all, Europe and Asia. There's plenty to do.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
2022 looks incredibly bright for you at a time when Black businesses, are struggling. Many are struggling because of the pandemic. I'm so happy to be able to showcase a business like yours that's actually expanding.
Thank you.
Retracting. So congratulations again. Best of luck. Can't wait till the Pearly Boy gets to Los Angeles and other cities that I frequent. on a regular basis because I will be there for that 1 hour, 15-minute appointment. I love it.
Well, hey, no guarantees. We'll get you in and out, but I don't know what you're bringing me. So hopefully we'll get you in and out.
I understand. Perfect. That's a perfect way to end this segment. But again, congratulations, Dana, on all your luck, and best to you in 2022.
Thank you, Reva. Congratulations to you too, dear. Bye-bye.
Okay, my next guest, she does some incredible gifts, and it's the holiday season, so what better time to talk to a Black-owned business that is catering to the Black demographic with products that resonate with our community. Her name is Jacquelyn Rodgers, and she is the founder of Green Top Gifts. Good morning and welcome, Jacquelyn.
Hi, thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I just love so much about all your products, and this is the holiday time, and you have so much that's focused on the holidays. I want to start though by asking you, how did you get started? I read this interesting story about what happened to you in 2015, but I'll let you share it with our audience. What was the backstory for Green Top Gifts?
Sure. Growing up, my mother painted angels, nativities, and Santas all to really look Black like our family. And so when I had my son in 2014, I wanted to share those moments with him. And I quickly realized there was still a void in the market and there was a lack of representation in the celebration space. And so I wanted him to have Black Santa wrapping paper. And it was something I just wanted for him. And after kind of researching and understanding that there was a void in the market, we launched Green Top Gifts in 2016. And we've been featured in a lot of press and opportunities with Oprah Magazine, Beyonce, ESPN, just to name a few.
Wow, that's incredible. So I know you come from a family of entrepreneurs, right? Your grandfather was a business owner. Was he inspirational at all as you were getting Green Top started?
Yes, my father and my grandfather were both entrepreneurs, and having a long legacy of entrepreneurship, I wanted to pay, homage to their starting entrepreneurship. My grandfather had a restaurant bar in the 40s called Green Top, and it was really a source of celebration in our family. Obviously, I couldn't go and visit that, but I've heard stories from friends and families in our community that talk about it and how it was a source of community and celebration. And so we use that name of Green Top with Green Top Gifts to just to pay homage to that legacy that our family has had with entrepreneurship.
So give us an idea of some of the gift items that people will find when they go to your website.
Of course. So we have right now, which is seasonal, our clearance clause Black Santa wrapping paper that features an African-American Santa. We have 6 different designs of that style of wrapping paper. We also have launched birthday products that feature multicultural children of all different ethnicities and skin tones and hair textures. We have a Black angel that comes in a gift wrap and in a gift bag. And we also have gift bags if wrapping is just not your thing. We have all kinds of stocking stuffers, socks, hats, and apparel, family pajamas that are available for purchase as well.
And so let's talk about Clarence Kloss, because he's quite popular. I know you created this concept of Clarence Kloss. So tell us, why Clarence Kloss instead of Santa Claus?
Well, when we were looking at names, I wanted him to bring him to life. I wanted him to appeal to children and adults. And so we wanted him to look magical and jolly. And we definitely wanted him to look like an African-American Santa Claus. And so it was really important to us that he was a right shade of brown and that he was chocolatey. And there was no misunderstanding that he was a brown Santa for our children. And so from the name, we joked around with names of C names that went with Claus. And my father's name is actually Clarence. And he looks nothing like Mr. Claus. He is very thin and fair skinned. And so it kind of was a joke that stuck and people like it. And they search him by name on the internet. He's Googled very much as Clarence Kloss, and it's stuck.
And so Clarence Kloss comes on different items, right? Like I know T-shirts and sweatshirts and on wrapping paper. So Clarence has his own line almost.
He does. He has been a little bit of every place. He's even been to Oprah's house during the holidays with Gayle King. So Clarence he travels and gets from house to house during the holidays. Kids call him Clarence Kloss by name, and that's what the joy and magic of Christmas is. So some of the joy and magic of Christmas. So yeah.
And he's on pajamas, right? You actually have Clarence Kloss.
Yeah.
Holiday pajamas, which are big. And we see all these Instagram pictures where people, have their family in all matching pajamas, so they can actually get matching Clarence Kloss pajamas.
Yes, families asked for us for that for years. Can you guys make family pajamas? And so it's something that we honored our customers' requests. It is a huge trend for families to dress up every year in different pajamas and take photos. And it's from the dog all the way up to your great grandma. They all are in pajamas. And so it's a trend. And so we love the trend. It's a trend that our family has this tradition as well prior to even launching the company. So we're so excited to offer that offering to our customers. And we love when they tag us and show us their families in our pajamas on Christmas.
And so I read someplace that you said Clarence Clark, you see him as an expression of Black love. What did you mean by that?
I think it is an expression of Black love. There's so many things with the holiday and the meaning of Christmas, but there's so much magic behind Clarence Claus and Christmas and that joy and magic that children have. And we want to keep that alive for children, and we want him to represent our families and our culture. And I think that he does that.
Okay, and so all these items can be purchased on your website. So, like, tell us. I mean, we've been talking for several minutes now. You haven't mentioned the website. So, like, how can people find these amazing products?
They can shop us online at greentopgifts.com. We ship all over the U.S. and international as well. And you can also shop us in select retailers across the country that do carry our products. You can find that under our store locator list.
Oh, just Jacquelyn, a Black female business owner. I know you said your dad and granddad were business owners, and I'm sure they imparted lots of wisdom to you. But what are some of the biggest challenges that you have faced getting this company off the ground?
I would say getting people to understand the size of the market of gift wrap. It's an $8.5 billion industry. And a lot of times people get very excited about tech and they don't understand the importance of everyday products that customers use. And there's always a party, always a celebration outside of just Christmas. And so really getting investors and people that are interested when we're applying for grants and opportunities to understand the size of the market and how much Americans spend on gift wrap. And that this line, this category doesn't serve minorities, and there's a lack of diversity in this category. And we fill that void with multicultural gift wrap and home and apparel.
And you actually won one of these, a grant I saw from, was it Visa? And tell us about that.
We've secured over $165,000 in funding this past year through Visa, iFund Women. Google gave us a large chunk of non-dilutive funding that we're super excited about. Beyonce.com and NAACP. We've been really fortunate this year that we've been able to expand and scale our business through the funding and the support of people that are investing in Black business.
Wow, it's amazing. So do you ever envision having your own retail stores with this business, or is it always online and then in select retailers?
Right now, the focus is growing and expanding our retail base. So looking at retailers that are existing that we can get our products in to just diversify their current assortment where people are really shopping. So if it's mass merchandisers or drug and in specialty stores. So that is kind of our focus now, and independent retail and gift shops that also sell gift wrap.
And as you think about the future, we're going into 2022. Are there new products that you envision expanding into, product lines?
Yes, we have launched recently a birthday collection, a baby shower collection. We've launched gift bags and other moments and celebratory moments for adults and children that we're expanding to in 2022. And you can sign up for our newsletter to keep up with our new offerings and assortment.
Did you have, Jacquelyn, any background in like art or interior design or anything that, you kind of think about when you think about someone creating gifts or wrapping paper or, the kinds of items that you're selling?
My background is a business. For the past 13 years, I worked in CPG for a large confectionery companies. And so my background's been in sales and marketing. But I am a lover of stationery. I'm a paper snob. I love all things stationery and gift wrap. And so my friends know that I love to give gift cards and gifts, and I love all things celebration. So the two kind of mesh is the best of both worlds. And so I've used that background in CPG and sales and my love of design and stationery, and decided to just make products and offerings that I wanted for my own son that turned into a company.
Wow, that's amazing. And just lastly, any piece of advice you would give to, someone that's been thinking about starting their own business? They're concerned. They've heard these horrific numbers about the number of businesses, particularly Black-owned businesses, that fail. They know the stories about, hard to access capital and, the horror stories of even getting employees, particularly now during the pandemic. And you've had to obviously deal with all of those issues, seemingly very successfully. So what advice would you give to, an aspiring entrepreneur?
I always say, I heard this quote and I love it, and that's ideas have expiration dates. And for me, I knew that this was a product and a service that I wanted to provide. And so we wanted to get it to the market as quickly as possible. And yes, the pandemic has brought all kinds of challenges, but 2020 was one of our best years. And so a lot of people really struggled in the pandemic, and we had great success with funding and the spotlight on Black business. And I think if there is a market and you have a great product that is innovative and you are able to get it to market effectively and know your customer base, I think there is an opportunities there. And I don't think we talk about that enough. I think we always talk about all the bad things that come with starting a small business, but there are successful Black businesses and businesses that are doing well despite the pandemic.
No, that's a great point. And obviously, many Black businesses saw some of their biggest year 2020. I know a lot of Black bookstores and other companies that sell Black items that are catered to African Americans. There was this intense focus on buying Black. So I'm glad to hear that your company also reaped the benefit of that. Again, Christmas pajamas, wrapping paper. Is it too late? I mean, we're like a week out for Christmas. Can we still go to your website and get some items delivered before Christmas?
You can with picking the correct shipping options. We still are shipping. It'll be a little bit more of an expedited shipping price to make sure that we can manage it with the shipping carriers who are having some COVID delays that are impacted, that are out of our control. But we are offering express and 2-day shipping to make sure we get it to you before the holidays. So there is still time with those purchases. And then if you're looking at some of our other items that are not seasonal and Christmas, they're available for purchase and we can get them to you as fast as the shipping carriers can get them.
Great. And again, that's greentopgifts.com. Jacquelyn, best of luck to you. Hope you have the same year, if not bigger, in 22 as you've had over the last year or so. Keep making those products that represent us. I'm so glad that, your son and little girls and boys all over this country can see themselves in the gifts and in these holidays. So important. Representation, as we know, matters. Again, best of luck to you with Green Top Gifts.
Thank you. I appreciate your time today.
All right. I didn't necessarily plan it this way, but all of my business owners today are women. Ha ha, surprise, right? Black women who are just exemplifying Black excellence and Black girl magic. So super excited about my next guest. Her name is Summer Johnson. She is the co-owner of Zach and Zoe Sweet Bee Farm in Chelsea Market in New York City. Good morning and welcome, Summer.
Oh, good morning, Areva. How are you?
I am fantastic. So, I didn't plan this segment to be all Black women. I know you are the co-owner of a business with your husband. So he's not here, but we do want to give him props because he is the co-owner of the business as well. But I'm just super excited to be talking to all these amazing Black women with these businesses. So tell us about Zach and Zoe.
Yeah, Zach and Zoe. So we named it after our children, Zach and Zoe, Sweet Bee Farm. We are in New Jersey, our apiary. And so you have a rural environment where we're raising our children. We wanted to teach them entrepreneurialism. We wanted to teach them a bunch of things, beekeeping, whatever you can do in the country. And it just turned out that we have a whole lot of honey left over from treating our son Zachary for his allergies. So essentially, he had horrible allergies during the fall and spring seasons. We would take him to pulmonologists, doctors. They would try to give him steroids and all kinds of inhalers, but I just wasn't for it. So after a while, after listening to my friends that kept on saying, try raw honey, just try the honey. And finally, my husband had enough courage to go out and actually purchase bees. And he started beekeeping for Zachary when he was 6. So it's about 6 or 7 years ago. And we did not expect to get honey the first year. Anyone knows who keeps bees. You don't get honey the first year. The bees eat the honey the first year. But we got so much honey that we were able to treat Zachary, so much more honey that we were able to start a business. And here we are. Just so you know, Zachary's allergies were treated and he is all better. He was better the first year. So we're very grateful.
So I got to ask you, you say it so casually, your husband just started keeping bees. Like, we're afraid to death of a bee. We see it in the opposite direction. I read some place that you guys have like 2 million bees or something.
We do have a lot of bees. We have an amazing amount of bee hives. We source most of our honey, though, from local apiaries. But yes, we all get together and it's a hobby that we have and it's a lot of fun.
So just give me a visual, like, are the bees? I'm just trying to understand where.
Right.
I've seen these movies where people, who are beekeepers have on the mask and the suits look like they're going into. Like, what do you dress up in when you're keeping bees?
We wear beak suits. We just recently had the Trevor Noah show come out and do a piece with us. And it was all about the bee suits. And Dulce had this beautiful pink bee suit that she wore. And so it is just a piece of fabric, though. So it takes gravity to go out there and really do what you do. But overall, the bees aren't paying attention to you. You can come out anytime, Areva. You would have a ball. And you get to harvest your own honey and get a chance to taste some of the most delicious things in the world, because every month the notes change in the honey. And so it's pretty amazing.
So how is what's the process? Take us back to biology 101. How do you get honey? I don't remember. I know I learned it.
No, you're fine. I don't know if they teach it so often. But bees are the only animals or insects that make their own food. And so essentially they just go out to their little flower, they take the nectar, and what they do is they take the nectar into their stomachs and keep vomiting up the nectar from bee to bee until it produces this sticky stuff, and we call it honey. And it is very edible and it is very healing. And
how do you get it off the leaves? You have to scrape it off the leaves?
Actually, they make their own place to put the honey in. They make cells, and it's made of, I guess, pollen, which would be in the flower as well. So they pack in the pollen and they make these cells, and then they put the liquid inside of the cells. They also feed their babies with the honey and the nectar as well. And so all of it's kind of the same substance in different form. Mm-hmm. But it's also healing and good for you. So you scrape it out of those cells and it pours out of, and we call it honeycomb. Okay. And you could eat the comb and you could chew the comb part like it's gum, and it's delicious as well. But we harvest the honey and we sell it. What I decided to do is add in superfood.
What do you make? Tell us some of these amazing products that you make with this honey. So you told us the process. Now you have all this rich, gooey, sticky, sweet stuff that we love. So what are the products? I know you have some bestsellers too.
We are so grateful for bestsellers. Yes, we were featured on Oprah's Favorite Things, and she liked the ginger, and it was everyone's favorite too, and the creamed honey. We have about 20 different seasonal flavors that go in and out according to when they're in season. And what I started to do, I wanted to stand out from the other apiaries in the area. And so I started to add in organic superfoods. Mm-hmm. And so we started out with matcha, lavender, and beetroot. And those were our first flavors. And it just snowballed from there when we had rice protein and blueberry, lemon, raspberry, all kinds of flavors. Our first retail location, the people were very health conscious. And so we decided to really go into that direction where people were getting as much nutrients as possible. And they wanted to make sure it was organic. And so did I. So we hold to those standards.
And you also have like an immunity booster. What product is that? Because that's something talking about COVID now, it's everywhere.
All honey is immunity boosting because of the anti-inflammatory agent. And it's an antioxidant. So it keeps out germs. You could have a scratch on your skin and put honey on it, and the redness will go right away. So that's how powerful honey is. We get so excited about its sweetness and how delicious it is, but it actually heals up any inflammation you have inside or out. Wow. And so anything you add to it too. So we add the organic superfoods, for instance, ginger. You can't just eat ginger, things like that. Ginger, it's very strong. Right. So we're able to add in so much more of the superfood because it's in honey, and it's not, things that are not palatable like matcha and protein. You could just pack as much as you want into honey and you could eat it and be so full of nutrients. So that's the upside.
So Summer, help us understand. A lot of us go into our local grocery store and we see the word natural honey. Mm-hmm. We may see organic. What are the differences, and what should we know when we're buying our honey if we really want it to be natural?
Well, sure. I think that when they say natural, they're talking about there's no corn syrup added or there's no sugar added, but it doesn't cover it being raw. And so that's what you want to look for as well. If you're in the grocer, make sure it says raw, and even better, local. And so with raw honey, you're not burning out or filtering the honey. And that means heating it. Okay. Heating honey means that it's going to get stretched more. So the manufacturers do that to make more honey. But when it's, more solid or crystallized, that if it gets cold, it's raw. And so it's a good thing for the honey to actually, if you leave it, on the counter it's cold, or in the garage, if you see that it's solidified, it's raw. And so that's an actual good thing. That means it hasn't burned out all of your nutrients. Simple as that.
And your products are all raw?
Yes. Yeah, we really pride ourselves in that, just because we could heat it up and it could stretch more. But we try to, stay to, close to what we believe in, and that's nutrients, and that's what healed up our son. So why would we try to take it away from you guys,
A lot of people, some are concerned about honey. They love the taste, but they're, oh my God, it's so much sugar. They think about the calories, et cetera. Is that the wrong way to think about raw honey in particular?
In particular, yes. Because that is one of my staples. It's liquid. If you go on all liquid diet, or if you go on, veggies, you can still eat honey. And because it's already processed in the way that the bees have separated two of the sugars in their own bellies. So your blood doesn't have to work to do that. And it also, when you eat the honey, it actually works towards making you less puffy. So you're gonna not look as, water retained and things like that. And so if you use it as a sweetener in your coffee. I use it every day in my coffee, and in their oatmeal and pancakes, whatever we make in the morning. So it's really good for you.
Wow. So tell us where you're selling now. You're in the Chelsea market, right?
Yes, we are in Chelsea market. We're here in the city now. And we are there every day of the week. And then we have a facility in New Jersey as well, and our home is in New Jersey as well. But if you want to purchase honey online, it's zackandzoe.co, and that's our website, and of course Amazon, and of course, if you want to visit and have that experience, Chelsea Market is always like the most fun in the city. So come and check us out.
Zoe, I was pronouncing it Zoe, but it's Zoe, zackandzoe.co, right?
You got it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you ship all over the world, I would imagine, right?
We do. Yeah, we do. Corporate gifting, wholesale, whatever you need, we have it, and you can choose your flavors and sizes. We have travel sizes, so if you're coming in from out of the country or out of town, you can get it on the airplane as well. So
I read someplace that you also do personal deliveries in New York City.
We do sometimes. If it's in the Village or in Chelsea, we can walk it over. Me and Cam might go on a date night and drop it off at like Gabriel has a bunch of restaurants. We'll go and visit them, and at Fairfax, and just do that. But we don't usually do personal deliveries to individual customers, but restaurant owners.
I love that. You said when you and your husband on date night, you may just take a bag and drop it off while you're on your date. That's so amazing.
Yeah, at the restaurants, and then have dinner there or something. Yeah. So we've been in Chelsea for 5 years, so it's been fun. Mm-hmm.
What are some of the biggest obstacles? Small businesses face a lot of obstacles. Many don't make it in the first 12 to 18 months, particularly African-American businesses. How have you about now are going on, 7 years?
Yeah, most African-American businesses. So African-Americans start twice as many businesses as Caucasians or others, but we are in history, we've probably shut down 3 times as many. So that's been the challenge. Keep staying in business. Right. I would like to say that it's attributed to, I think that, to be honest, it's been my faith. It's been my faith. I've prayed this through. My husband has prayed this through, and it's been like, okay, what is it that you've called me to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Not, oh, I just want to make money. We all need money. There's always jobs. There's always work, and you can make money. But it's very important to do what you're called to do, because that's what you're created for, and that's going to be great. That's what's going to be great. That's what you are great at, and so it all comes together.
So I know some of you had an amazing experience that most businesses don't have. You and Zach and Zoe were featured on Shark Tank.
We had a good time.
What that experience was like.
It was so they say it's trauma. It's good trauma and bad trauma. It's like you've been in a wedding and you've been hit by a car at the same time. So you're over the moon happy, and then you're like, I need a burger, like, for 5 days. So it was that, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done, probably, because I just like to have fun doing work and things that I do. But Shark Tank was very because it's live, like, what you say, they film. So, and you want to be excellent, because these are great business owners and great people and great entrepreneurs, and you just want to be excellent. So it was tough.
Has your episode aired already?
Yes, it aired. It's on YouTube.
So you can tell us the outcome for those of us that didn't get to see.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What happened at the end?
Yeah, we had a lovely deal with Barbara. We decided to just keep the business for ourselves, though, ultimately. But I tell you, Barbara is awesome. Like, she really we had a nice time with her when we met her. And like, she's a trip. You know, what you see is what you get with Barbara. She's a New Yorker too. So I was really grateful that she wanted to make a deal with us, and Mr. Wonderful as well. So we were really grateful, and we had a good time.
Did it impact your business? Like, airing on a national show like that, did you see a big surge in your orders?
Yes, we are still working on our orders. So give us grace if you order something. I mean, we have had to hire more people, and it's right around the holidays. So we're super, super grateful. Yeah.
That's amazing. So that was obviously something that really helped your business. What about COVID? Over the last 18 months, did COVID, help or hurt your business?
I'd say that because people were at home, to be honest, when they were at home and wanting to stay safe as far as, their immunity, and they just ordered online like crazy. That really took us to another level, where Cam really came into the picture with his skills, his business skills, and just took it to another level. And so I was grateful. And at the time we had a Chase commercial out, and that we were brand ambassadors for Chase. And so that with the COVID, they were like, hey, that's the honey people, let's get it. So we were grateful for that too, because that brought in orders as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. So Shark Tank, a national Chase commercial. What's next for Zach and Zoe?
Oh man, we'll see. There's a lot on the schedule, so we just keep going and having a good time and meeting wonderful people like you, and so it's all fun.
Wow, that's amazing. I know you're also the mom, 2 kids, right?
We have 3. We had a baby during quarantine. Everyone gets to rest, and so you just have another baby, and her name is Gabriella Zuri, and so we had to get a Z name in there. So if you see a little baby on our Instagram page, that's our daughter, and we just had her. So it's Zach, Zoe, and Zuri, and there might be a little brother coming too. So we'll see.
Well, congratulations on that, and I love that. So you're just like showing, which is so important, that you can be a mom, you can be a working mom, you can be a new mom, and you're blowing up this honey business, something that's your passion and your purpose. So I just love that. So many examples that we don't often get to see, where people are able to combine their passion and their purpose. Have a family life, have a husband, have not 1 kid, not 2, not 4.
I would say, if I could just put this in there, hire people. The problem with African-American businesses has been that they stay their own person. They don't hire more people. And so hire people, pay them, hire people. I'm at home with her all day, and I've hired people to do the business, and it is worth it. Yeah. It's exponential that you make money. So all those entrepreneurs watching, I know you love this show. hire people.
That's great advice. You're right. People sometimes, I think, they think of their business like their baby and they hold on so tight.
I did it. I had a breakdown trying to let go.
It's hard to bring people in, but I can tell you, I do a lot of stuff, and you know how I do it all? Great teams. I have amazing teams of people that help me, walk in all the different spaces that I get to walk in. So no, that's excellent advice, Summer. I'm so glad we had a chance to meet, and I'm going to be in New York next year. I may take you up on that offer to visit the farm. Amazing process takes place and how you're making these great products. But it's a pleasure. Can we still order? Let's make sure we get that in. Is it too late?
Oh, yeah. You always 24/7. You can order online. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get the honey to you before Christmas.
Wow, that's amazing. So ZachAndZoe.co. Right?
Yeah, you got it.
.co. All those wonderful flavors. You can get the flavor that's on Oprah's, one of her favorites list. So you can be like, doing what the celebrities are doing. Healing. You want something that's raw. You want something that's, immunity boosting.
Yeah.
Anything you need for the holidays to make them bright and happy and healthy. You can get it right from ZachAndZoe. So best of luck, Summer.
Thank you, Reva.
Keep being a bright light. Keep encouraging and inspiring business owners all over this country.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thanks, my friend. Take care.
Bye, guys.
All right. I want to thank all my guests today. What amazing women who are doing phenomenal things, from a hairstylist or hair salon owner to Black gifts to now raw honey. I just love it. So many creative products that people are selling. They're making not just they're selling things that they love, but they're turning their passion into these just huge businesses. All of these businesses have the potential to go from being small businesses to mid-sized businesses to mega businesses. That's what's so exciting about this period that we're living in. And we've talked about the systemic issues. We know the issues that Black businesses have, and getting access to capital and getting loans and finding great staff and building teams. Summer just talked about that. But we also know that this has been an incredible period for a lot of African-American owned businesses. All of the spotlight on anti-racist policies, systemic racism has caused lots of investment dollars to flow into Black businesses. And it's caused lots of people to recognize the value and worth of these businesses, and then to purchase their products, to hire them for their services. And if you saw the show that we did with Professor Perry when we were talking about real estate and the wealth gap and what's happening in Black neighborhoods, he talked about the power of Black businesses and Black business ownerships. And if we could get Black businesses to be 14% of the population, which equals the population, the percentage of the population we are as people, that we would close that wealth gap. And so these women, these three business owners that were on the show today, are a part of that process, are a part of that group that's helping to close that wealth gap that Dr. Perry talked about. So now we've got to do our part. We got to go to their websites. We've got to buy their products. We've got to tell our friends, our family members about their products. We have to ship them all over the country as gifts. And we have to continue this buying Black, because what this is doing is not only helping these three businesses and businesses like them, but it's also decreasing that racial wealth gap that we've been talking so much about. And it is increasing jobs. These businesses are job creators. We know small businesses are the backbone of this country, and that includes small and emerging Black businesses. Black businesses employ more, or small businesses, I should say, employ more people across this country than big businesses combined. So when you're buying Black, you are creating jobs for people, you're closing the wealth gap, and you're just doing the right thing. So my words to live by, buy Black. All right, y'all, I'm out. Be safe out there. Get your booster. Remember, we're all in this together.